You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another insightful, inspiring and juicy podcast episode where I'm going to be talking to you today about the 6 ways you can improve your acting and feel more confident in your abilities. But before I share with you what these 6 things are, I want to tell you a little story about myself that you may or may not know. So one thing I feel you really need to know about me, because obviously, as you know, I'm a method acting coach. I've been doing this 13 years, just over 13 years now, actually. And I've been helping actors go from, nobodies in the industry to building up the CVs and getting cast in amazing productions, which, you hear in the intro, Netflix, Amazon Prime, TV soaps, etc. And it has been absolutely incredible doing that. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. But before I started coaching actors, I was an actress myself. However, I didn't used to be very confident in my abilities, and I was an actress who didn't think I was good enough, believe it or not. And that may come as a bit of a surprise or a bit of a shock to some of you, because I obviously sound confident on these podcasts. But yeah, way back when I was taking my first ever set of professional training back in drama school, I just did not think I was good enough. And actually, in fact, I just looked at everybody else and I thought everyone else is better than me. And I'd look at them and I'd hear them getting amazing feedback and I'd see them getting cast in amazing roles. And I would literally sit there and wonder, what the hell am I doing wrong with something that I love so much? And I know you can relate to that, because I know you love acting. I don't want to say more than anything in the world, because you obviously love your family, friends. There's other things that you love, but it is high up there, right? Now, because I looked at everybody else and was like, God, what is so good about them? Like, what am I doing wrong? This affected my stage and screen presence. This is important for you to understand, because when you're not very confident, it does affect that. And what that means is when your stage and screen presence are affected, you're not very watchable. It means you're actually forgettable and you give forgettable performances, which is a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but essentially that's what I was doing. I lost my confidence so much that I just focused on training other actors. I really put my heart, my soul, my energy and all my efforts into my acting students. And I hid away for years behind them. And I was essentially living my dreams through them. Now, don't get me wrong, I was super bloody proud seeing them get cast in TV soaps, seeing them get cast in stage plays around the world, seeing them work their way up with agents, getting bigger and better agents. I was so proud of them, always will be. But as I've already said, I was living my dreams through them, and I was just hiding away from my own acting career, and it wasn't good. And then one day I started getting the nudge, and I tried to ignore it. And then I got another nudge, and I tried to ignore it again, and then I got another nudge, and I kept trying to ignore these nudges that I should pick up my own acting career again, until eventually they were so strong that I thought, oh bloody hell, I'm going to have to listen to them, and I'm going to have to do something about this. So I did. And what I did is I got to work in the background, didn't tell anyone, got my head down, and just started practicing my method acting exercises every single day. And I knew I had an issue with confidence with my own abilities. So I started programming my mind for success as well, like believing that I could do this. And after a while of practice, and it didn't come overnight, but after a while of practicing my method acting exercises and, reprogramming my mind, I started to feel more confident. And so I started applying for roles and applying for agencies and writing to casting directors. And my first audition back, you will know if you've listened to the podcast for a while, but my first audition back, which was last April, I think it was, April 2022, I landed that role. And I landed the role of a leading lady in a film And then I landed an agent and I was like, oh, wow. And before long, I was getting more auditions than I'd ever had in my life. Only this time, I felt really confident at them. Whereas before I took my break, I hated auditions. I was so scared of them. They made me feel so anxious and on edge. But not this time. This time, there was a difference. And then what happened is that role that I did, that first ever role that I got cast in the film, which is called Black Daruma, it was premiered at the Showroom Cinema in Sheffield 2 months ago, so in September 2023. I did not know that there was a critic there from Exposed magazine, and he gave me a phenomenal review. And he basically said the performances were simply stellar. Louise O'Leary gives an equally impressive portrayal as Richard Galloway's partner. And I was just like, oh, wow, what a pinch me moment. What a pinch me moment. And oh God, it was just so exciting to experience that, because finally, after years of thinking I was shit and I wasn't good enough, somebody's validated me. A critic has validated me. I was like, oh, wow. And it was such an amazing experience. And I want you to experience this too, because you might be feeling a little bit unconfident right now. You might be having a massive dry spell with your acting career that's making you feel unconfident. You might have got bad feedback that's going round and round in a loop in your head, like it did me. Or you might just not know what to do with your characters and second guess all your character choices. But just because you're feeling a little bit unconfident now doesn't mean you will always feel unconfident. I'm no different from you. Okay, I'm not an actress in Hollywood yet. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, who knows. But I'm no different from you. I just have a lot of method acting knowledge, that's all. And I practice it every single day. And that's what's made the difference. But there have also been 6 things that have really helped me become more confident with my acting. And this is what I want to share with you, because it's important that you follow these things. So the first thing is stop focusing on forgetting the lines. Because when you focus on forgetting the lines, it is causing unnecessary stress in you, which simply stops you getting into character. You cannot be stressed and creative at the same time. You've got to choose. What do you want to be? Do you want to be creative and in your pure imagination? Or do you want to be stressed out flapping about lines? You know the lines. You do know the lines. You need to tell yourself that I know them. I do not need to keep going over them. It is not serving me. So that's one thing that I let go of, because I used to stress about lines and I just stopped doing it. I trusted myself. And I also figured out I can actually learn lines a lot quicker than I was giving myself credit for. The second thing is you need to get into your imagination and the things that are actually happening in the scene. Get out of your head. 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 Being in your head is causing you to give tense, mechanical, robotic performances with no life in them. These do absolutely nothing for your confidence. Absolutely nothing. So you have to relax and get into your imagination. Be aware of the things happening in the scene, because your mind can't focus on 2 things at once. It can only focus on the things you choose for it to focus on. So do you want to focus on the worries in your head, or do you want to focus on the things happening in the scene? You are an actor with autonomy. You make the choice, but I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to focus on my pure imagination, and I'm choosing to focus on what's actually happening in the scene, because that's real. What's happening in my head, that ain't real. That's just me making it up. And it's all bullshit, let's be honest. And that's the premise of what method acting was built upon. The mental tension that goes off in actors' heads. And that's why every single exercise that we do in method acting is designed to get you out of your head, out of that mental tension, out of those self-sabotaging thoughts and into the scene and into the character. And I can promise you now, me doing that made a huge bloody difference. The third thing you need to do is be curious. Never stop being curious. Just like little children always ask, why? Why is the moon white? Why does the sun not fall out of the sky? Why are there 10 million stars? Why do we have eyes? Why do we have hands? Or whatever it is that they ask, they don't stop being curious, because that fuels their imagination. And for you as an actor, curiosity is going to lead to new character and scene discoveries, and that feels exciting as fuck. You know it does. You know it does. That is better than questioning yourself and getting caught up in those thoughts in our heads. The fourth thing is you need to stop catastrophizing about things going wrong in the scene. Because when you start worrying, which is what catastrophizing means, about the things that are going to go wrong in the scene, which you don't know if that's going to happen or not, you're just future projecting, thinking that they are. But when you start worrying about things going wrong, it makes you feel on edge with your performances. Nothing could ever go wrong in a scene because everything is a new moment to play with. I was once in a scene on stage where the bloody back wall fell down, right? It wasn't like a back wall that was attached to the ceiling and the floor. It was like a stage wall. I did not worry about that. In fact, if anything, it added to the performance because it was a comedy and we worked with it. And it brought about a fresh new moment, something that had never happened in rehearsals before, but was so exciting. Did not stress about it. And of course, people remember that and they remember how in character we all stayed and how we worked with it. So stop catastrophizing, stop bloody worrying. Nothing will ever go wrong. As Lee Strasberg says, there is no room for distraction, only potential inspiration. Number 5 is let go. Let go of any preconceived ideas you have about the scene because they will never pan out the way you imagine them to anyway, and then you'll get yourself in a pickle. Do the prep work, then let go of the prep work. When you do this, it allows you to be in the moment, which feels absolutely bloody exhilarating. And then the 6th thing to improve your acting and feel more confident in your abilities is to come and join the Ultimate Confidence Turbocharge Your Screen Presence and Book More Roles workshop, because those method acting exercises that I was practicing in private before I landed that first audition back in April 2022 last year, they are the exercises that I'm going to be sharing with you in that workshop. So this workshop is Sunday the 26th of November. It's 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time. You can be any level of experience. It's for brand new actors, it's for jobbing actors, it's for those actors who are feeling a little bit rusty, it's for those actors who are having a dry spell, and it's for those actors who are returning to the industry. It's online, so the only thing you need is an internet connection. That is it. It's practical, it's immersive. I am going to show you the 2 method acting exercises that will get you feeling super confident, into character, improving your screen presence and booking more roles, because that's what it did for me. And it will do exactly the same thing for you when you put these 2 exercises to use. So all you need to do is click the link underneath this episode, and I will see you in the workshop on Sunday the 26th of November. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.